Okay, Graham. We're gonna do a Graham interview. We have a drink, having a drink, and Uncle Dave's here, and yeah. So, what sort of stuff did you enjoy doing when you were a little girl?
Well, when I was a little girl, I enjoyed planting flowers and garden and stuff. I moved out to McCain when I was 8 years old.
Right.
Right on the farm, and I've lived in McCain ever since.
Right. On the same mile strip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So where were you living before you were 8?
We lived on 1050 East 24th Street in Erie.
Okay. And what made you guys move from Erie to?
My dad was he worked at GE and he was laid off, and back then, you know, he wanted to buy a farm, so that's what he did. And when we were out on the farm there, we didn't have any electric.
Right.
No electric or nothing, and had to milk cows by hand. And I was too. But he was a little girl, 9, 10 years old, sitting on a stool under the cow and milking it by hand in a pail.
Right.
And then the damn cows would flap their tail off you. And I was old enough to do that.
Right.
And my couple brothers were a little older, but they had to go to school or something different. They were always, so I helped.
Yeah. And so you went from the city at 8 years old, and then when you were 8, you were already helping on the farm. And
yeah.
How did your dad know how to farm and stuff like that?
Well, my dad, he come from Poland. I guess he farmed over there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How did he end up coming here? Do you know the story behind that?
Yeah. His older brother, Tom, came here, and after he was here a little while, he wanted my dad to come over too.
Okay.
And he brought him over here, his brother Tom.
How did that happen? Like he wrote him and told him to come over, or?
I don't know how it happened back then, but anyhow, he was here. And he went through the school to become a citizen and stuff.
Okay.
And it was so funny because my Uncle Tom was married to a cousin of my mother's.
Oh.
My mother, Tom's wife, was married, was a cousin of my mother's, and that's how my mom and dad met.
Oh, okay.
And then eventually they got married.
That's cool.
Yeah. My mother was born in 1900, and my dad was born in 1894.
Okay. And he was born in Poland?
Yeah.
And your mom was born here?
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
She was born in New Jersey at the time, I know. I remember her saying, yeah.
Did your dad have a lot of family members? Like, did he have a lot of brothers and sisters? Besides Tom? Yeah.
Yeah, he had no more of them come over here, though.
So just him and Tom were here?
Just the two.
Huh. Were they close in age?
And his brother Tom lived on a farm, too. On that road coming to Erie, let's see, not Greenlee, but I can't think of it right now.
But he lived on a farm just straight down the road?
Yeah, he lived on a farm closer to Erie.
Okay. How did you get to school when you were walking?
Walking. And it was...
How long did it take you while in the snow?
Well, it didn't. I wasn't too far when I was in grade school. I wasn't really too far from school, and you had to have big boots, and there was nothing like that. Then when I went to high school, I had to go to McCain. 4 miles each way I walked. and I went for. We didn't even have to go to school, high school,
Right.
because there was no, and but I wanted to go, and I walked 4 miles each way for 4 years.
Wow. That's crazy.
Oh, when I think back now, I think, how the hell did you do that? Because I'd go up that big hill.
Right.
And back then, that hill was longer. That went clear.
Right.
Yeah.
Went down to Ann Bates'
Yeah,
house
yeah.
on Old 99.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does make it quite a bit long. It like almost doubles that first hill.
Right, and it
Yeah.
hadn't been trimmed. You know how it's undercut? They have those big banks when you're going up the hill now.
Yeah.
Back then, it was
Oh.
a steeper hill because they
Yeah.
hadn't cut those banks yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember, we were kids when they cut those
Yeah,
banks.
that's right.
So so it was much worse, and it's already bad.
Yeah, it was, in the winter it was always,
Yeah.
back then, it
Yeah, it was different.
covered with snow.
And,
I know you said you didn't have like much stuff or possessions and stuff, but is there anything that you had when you were a little girl that you really liked? Like, is there anything that you remember having or
well, I don't know.
that you really enjoyed?
No, we had nothing. We were lucky. We were lucky at Christmas if my dad would buy us fruit and stuff like that.
Right.
There was no toys like now.
Right. So no dolls or
No,
nothing that you were.
No, you didn't. Never even thought about that. Uh-huh.
Well, how did you spend your time when you weren't walking 4 miles to school or gardening or?
Well, there was always something
milking.
to do. I remember on a lot of Mondays, my mother would come and say, Teresa, stay home from school today and help me wash clothes. We had to wash by hand.
Oh.
So I did a lot of that. I did. And being the oldest daughter, I was busy with everything all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were like the biggest helper, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, I really was.
That's crazy.
But I did it.
So was there any like fun things that your family did together? If you guys didn't have anything, did you do?
Oh yeah,
anything?
we get together once in a while, not very often.
Even just your immediate family though, was there anything
Oh,
you guys would do?
immediate family.
Yeah, like your brothers and sisters and parents. Was there anything you guys would?
Oh yeah.
What kind of fun things would you do?
Well, let me think. We had a lot of like picnics and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get-togethers like that.
that was getting together with the other family members, basically.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
What was the biggest lesson you learned from your dad?
How to speak Polish. I could speak Polish back then, except my mom and dad were speaking Polish,
Right.
and you had to learn it.
Right. You got to call home.
Yeah.
Um.
And like I keep thinking how in the house there, we didn't have any heat except a wood stove, and they had the wood stove go up to the ceiling, up to where the bedrooms were. That was all heat you had was,
Oh, wow.
there. And then back then, everybody had a prasina for cover up for night. It was a big, not a blanket, but something, all made with feathers. Chicken and turkey, they made them with feathers. You had to have a prasina. It was like that thick.
Otherwise
you'd
you'd be
freeze.
freezing. Yeah. That's crazy.
And of course, we didn't have any bathrooms then, and you always had to have a pot sitting in upstairs.
That is insane.
Oh, you can't imagine. And to take a bath, you had to heat the water on the wood stove and put a tub, like a wash tub, in back of the stove, heat the water, and that's where you take your bath. And we one kid would get in and then another.
That's crazy.
Oh, and I stop and think. Oh.
The luxuries we have now.
Yeah.
When was the first time you met or saw Grandpa Buck?
We went to school together.
Okay,
Yeah, he lived a mile down the road from where I did.
right. Where you guys
Residence.
ended up having the farm, right?
Yeah,
That's where he
they
grew
had
up.
a farm. Yeah,
And so you met him first at school?
yeah, yeah. And then he become good friends with Franny and Lenny.
Mm-hmm.
They all went to school with him, you know. So he was up to the house quite a bit with the boys, you know. And yeah.
And when was the first time where you guys talked about how you liked each other? Who initiated the conversation? Do you remember?
I'm trying to think. Let's see. He was in the Navy, and it was before he went to the Navy. I know that. It was probably I was maybe 16 or something. Yeah.
But you don't remember the exact scenario or anything.
No,
Yeah.
I can't remember that.
Do you weren't you like Miss Waldemir or something like that?
Yeah, 1 year.
And how did that come about?
Somehow, I'm trying to think too. I forgot about that till you mentioned that. It was something about being on a ride that I did. I can't think what now, but.
And then that's when the first time you wore
Oh,
makeup, right?
Yeah, and and then when Buck worked at Waldemar.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
What did he do there?
When he
What was he doing there? What was his?
well, doing the rides and stuff,
Really?
you know.
That's funny.
That was
I never
great.
knew that.
Yeah, he worked there in summers.
And so what year? How old were you when you won the Miss Waldemar thing?
Probably about, let's see, 20, say, I think.
And from my recollection, that was the first time you wore makeup, right?
Yeah.
Right for that photo, wear makeup. Wasn't
Yeah.
that the first time you wore makeup or no?
I don't know.
I remember that
think
one as a
I
kid.
probably wore it before then.
Okay.
Yeah, not much, but.
Right. What's one thing that you remember about your wedding day?
Oh, it was so nice, my wedding day. We had my dad was back working. After we moved out the farm there, he got called back to work, so.
At GE.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's because
Yeah,
you were saying.
so he got the place that GE had a place for weddings and stuff like that. And that's where it was.
Oh, okay.
At the GE there, yeah.
Nice.
It worked out really nice, yeah.
Do you remember anything in particular about the day? Besides it was at the GE?
Well, it was a nice day, I know that.
Yeah.
Tell about the rhubarb blossoms.
Oh, the rhubarb, what was that? Yeah, you remember.
Yeah. Well, Dad.
Dad.
Right.
Yeah.
You couldn't afford flowers.
Flowers, yeah.
And the rhubarb
Rhubarb
patch by the
blossom.
barn had all those nice white flowers that
Yeah,
rhubarbs had. So Dad picked a bunch of rhubarb
that's true. I
flowers.
forgot. Thanks for
your
reminding
wedding.
me. Because we didn't have any money, you know, back then. But I was married in 46, so I was married 70 years
Wow.
ago.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's awesome.
yeah.
Did you guys go on a honeymoon or?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where'd you go?
We took a bus to Cleveland.
Of course.
We took a bus to Cleveland. I have a picture here somewhere of him and I in Cleveland. You know, I ran across it the other day and I should have left it out, yeah.
And what did you guys do in Cleveland? Do you remember much or remember anything about the honeymoon? Besides that, you guys were kissing a lot and stuff. What did you guys do in your honeymoon?
Well, he wanted to take me to Bangor, Maine. No.
Wait, what?
But it wasn't that long getting to Cleveland and
Right.
Yeah, we stayed there a couple of days, I think.
Okay. Wait, what's Bangor, Maine? I don't know what that means.
Nothing. It's
Oh.
just a word.
Oh.
There's a lot of jokes about it.
Oh, okay. What was your favorite thing about Grandpa Buck?
Oh, he was such a perfect person. And that's him there.
Yeah.
He's handsome. He was so good, though. He's just so good.
Yeah.
I can't think anything wrong with him. He was so nice.
Right.
He loved the boys.
Yeah, I was talking with Uncle Dave last night about it, and he was saying he was really optimistic. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. What was your favorite part about the farm? About your guys' farm that you and Buck had?
Picking fruit and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Fruit and we had berries and stuff,
But you really enjoyed the gardening and
grapes.
Yep.
And stuff like that. You have your own fruit and pick it when it's ripe. It ain't like fruit today.
Right.
Yeah, I did a lot of canning all my life.
Right. Did you do that up at your old farm when you were a kid
Yeah,
too?
that's where I learned now from my mother,
Yeah. What other kind of fruits did you guys have besides grapes and berries?
Grapes and apples and I had some blueberries and raspberries, pears, and most every kind.
Yeah.
Peaches, we had peach trees. Yeah.
The prunes.
Prunes,
Yeah.
yeah, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Prunes, you're right, honey.
Yeah, they were good.
I'm glad you thought of that.
What was your favorite thing to bake? Yeah.
Cookies, I guess.
That was my favorite
Cookies
thing
and
too.
pies.
Yeah.
A lot of times the boys wanted a pie for their birthday instead of a cake.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you had the best crust ever.
Huh?
The best pie crust. You
Yeah.
had the best pie crust.
And I think, and I have over 100 years old pie roll, crust roller. I think Lee has it now.
Yeah, I think he does.
Yeah, that's when that was his parents
Mm.
had that,
That's awesome.
and it was solid wood, so nice that I could see it.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite thing to cook?
Homemade noodles and chicken, duck soup.
Yeah. Where would you guys get the ducks from? Would you get it?
We didn't usually have
What?
ducks. He said, "Where did we get the ducks?"
We had some ducks, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they laid eggs and stuff. Oh yeah, and they always used the duck feathers too for the prezinas.
What's
Yeah.
a presina?
So when you killed
To
the
wear
Oh, for the
Duck is
reasons.
up.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
before you cut it up, you took off the feathers.
Okay,
Then you could skin it, and
that's for the big. So you and Buck hosted a lot of people. It seems like everyone I
Oh,
talked to
yeah.
everyone was always at the house.
We had a lot of and
Yeah.
He loved it. He loved that when people come out.
Right. And so what sort of things, if you were to give advice for other people in your family that want to be good hosts, what sort of advice would you give and keys to being a good host?
Well, just be happy to see them, and whatever you have. I always had baked stuff and put out, and we started that reunion here.
Mm-hmm.
Then, yeah, because we invited the whole family every fall for years, and then Uncle Paul said, "Next year you're coming to my house." That's when the family reunion started.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
And then they played horseshoes and everything. The horseshoes was a big thing out there.
Right.
Yeah, everybody loved playing horseshoes.
Huh.
And euchre.
Mhm.
You guys
We
still,
still
play
play
euchre
both, yeah.
once in a while. That's what I miss. I have nobody to play cards with.
Right.
Yeah.
I was asking Uncle Dave this last night. I remember you saying when we were kids that you always made sure you had good toilet paper at the house, right?
We had outside toilet, and we used Sears catalogs for toilet
Oh, geez.
paper. Yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Um,
I think of that. Yeah.
how long were you? What was the order of? How long were you guys at the farm before Uncle Pat, or how long were you married before Uncle Pat came? How long were you and Buck married before you were pregnant with Uncle Pat?
We got married in '46, and Uncle Pat was born in '48.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just a couple,
Yeah.
just a short time. And when did you guys buy the farm, or when did he take over his dad's farm?
I can't remember. Let's see. We took it over. His dad, yeah, he took it over. Let's see. His mother was sick, and his dad couldn't keep farming. I shortly after we were married, I think he wanted $10,000 for the farm. So that's what we get. Back then, that was a lot of money, but yeah.
Where did he go after that?
He stayed with us. His mother and dad were with us.
Wow.
Because she was quite sick, and I had to take care of her. Yeah, and then when we got married in '46, she was pretty much bedridden then, and they took her to see the ceremony, but she wasn't able to go to the reception. She wasn't that well, but yeah.
And so you guys bought the farm from him after you were married?
Yeah.
And then they just lived with you?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Is there any places that you wish that you would have ever visited?
Any place what?
That you wish you would have visited? Before,
Out there?
No, anywhere in the world.
Well, I did quite a bit of traveling when I was, and working, and we took vacation and stuff. But and I've been quite a few places.
What was your favorite place then when you were?
Let's see. I guess I was every place the boys were. So. Probably Poland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What makes you proud of your boys?
Oh boy, I have to have a list that long. They all are such good boys, every one of them, and it's they all worked hard on the farm. I see how hard they worked to go to college. They got, some of them got some degrees or something, give to them. And they all were very, very nice to their parents. And it just can't say enough about it. Every one of them is great. Every one of them. And they all did very good. And another thing that's really I'm proud of, every one of them have nice families.
Right.
That's what's perfect. Every one of them have nice families. They just didn't pick some, there was always family first.
Right.
That was a big thing with us, family first. Yeah. They're all sticking together.
What I'm gonna go through a couple of just like understanding some of your favorites of different things. So like, what is your favorite food?
My favorite food. When my favorite food was always chicken noodle soup.
Okay.
They still have that some here, but not like it was then. They don't have homemade noodles and
Right.
stuff. And then I liked the cottage cheese pierogies,
Okay.
and that's with homemade noodles dough.
Mm-hmm.
And what was it that you? I mean, for breakfast I used to make, and that's all we had, and couldn't make it fast enough. Was it French toast?
We had a lot of that. Yeah.
French toast.
Yeah.
How did you make that?
With you know, with egg, you know,
Yep.
egg, and just fried them, and fast as I fried them, they ate them.
So it's just egg and bread, really?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
all
you can,
it is.
You can put whatever you want in the egg,
Yeah.
milk, or little salt and pepper,
Okay.
or make it sweet. But
Right.
yeah, we called it egg bread.
Sausage. Everybody
bread.
likes sausage. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite dessert?
Something was. Let's see. What the heck? I don't eat much dessert now, so I forgot. My favorite dessert would be cherry pie. See.
Okay. What about what's your favorite drink?
My drink.
Favorite drink?
Bourbon and Diet Coke.
Everyone's gonna know that one.
I can't drink coffee. I haven't had drank coffee or tea for years because it was the acid in it that affect my stomach. So
Okay.
I never drank it.
What's your favorite game?
Euchre.
Euchre?
Euchre and it's these
Bowling?
No, that
Solitaire?
solitaire. Because I'm alone a lot. I play solitaire.
Yeah.
I love the cards and
Mm-hmm.
keeps me thinking, you know.
What sort of things do you feel like you're naturally good at?
Now,
Like Uncle Dave was
good
saying.
at dancing when I was younger.
Really?
I loved it, polka and stuff. Oh yeah, and Buck he never wanted to dance. He never danced. I danced with my sisters and whoever was there at weddings. Yeah.
He didn't like to
He
dance.
never. He said, "Oh, if I dance, I'll want to dance all the time." No, he liked to watch it. He said I'd be dancing all the time.
That's hilarious. Did you have a favorite TV show or anything at any time?
Well, right now I'm watching Family Feud.
Oh yeah.
I like that. Do you ever watch it?
Yeah, I like that too.
It's something. I like game shows on the TV.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
When I was young, I used to watch the soap stories and stuff. The stories are on every day.
Mhm.
Like when I would go to work, I would tape it.
Oh
and
wow.
watch it when I got home. On the family and stuff like that. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite fruit?
Let's see. I can't. Cherries. I
Yeah.
don't know why I like cherries. These red cherries would see something that was never had on the farm, I think.
Right. Do you have a favorite color?
My favorite what?
Color?
My favorite color, I think, is most any shade of green.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Last time we were in here, you wanted a green necklace. I remember. Yeah. I thought you might say that. What would you say are the keys to a happy life?
Say what?
Like any sort of advice for a happy life? What would you?
Make sure you do what's right and think ahead about it. Don't just do something that everybody wouldn't like. You know, you want to make sure you don't offend anybody and go along with what they want if it's good.
All right.
I think you take it out on yourself if you don't. You do something, you know, that you really shouldn't be doing. You're hurting yourself.
Interesting. Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to say to anyone that ever watches this?
Boy. Well, like I said, Buck was in the Navy, and then we were married 40 years, and he got sick. We were down at Pat and Linda's, I remember, our 40th anniversary when they lived in Philadelphia or somewhere. And then he got sick with a bad heart, and he had to go in the hospital.
While you were down there?
Yeah, no, not down there. Remember you come around? It was before Thanksgiving one year. All the boys were coming home for Thanksgiving, and I always give him a haircut, and he always had a crew cut like a sailor, and I was gonna give him a haircut, and he said, "Tree," he said, "don't take any off the top." He says, "The boys are all coming home for Thanksgiving, and I'm gonna start letting my hair grow." And the next day or so, he was in a hospital, the vet's hospital, and so we had to let all the boys know, and they all come running back home. Then Pat was the only one that didn't make it before he died. No, he didn't die. No, that was when he died. I'm talking about his operation. They had to trim half of his heart away, and there was no room for another valve. He just had one valve.
Huh.
And the doctors told him, now, if you don't try to do a lot of work or anything, you'll be here, you'll probably live long enough to see your boys grow up. And he lived 16 years.
Wow.
That way. And the boys were grown up. And then once that was Thanksgiving, he was going to go, boys were coming home, and that's when 16 years after the operation.
So he only had half a heart?
Yeah. His whole family, the Steadmans, his brothers died a heart attack, his mother did. Yeah. And all that. But so 16 years, and I had to get a job. So that's when I worked at Morris Coupling. And then when
What did you do there?
I put couplings together for the services and stuff. Yeah, made couplings, I don't know. And
What's a
then,
coupling?
yeah, I worked there. And then when I become 62, I said, I think I'm going to retire so I can spend some time with Buck. I had to be to work at 6 o'clock in the morning in Erie from McCain. And I said, so we have a little time to spend together. I can't, and Lloyd would, a lot of times he would call Lloyd to come over to be with him. Rose never baked, so he'd say to Lloyd, hey, there's some pie. Lloyd would run out there, and,
Right.
and that was good. And then I already had told him I was going to retire in January, but he died in November. And I just changed my mind. I said, I'm going to have to keep working. What am I going to do?
Right.
Not have nothing in the morning. And it's a good thing I did. Yeah. Then I retired when I was 65. And then about a year later, Sam Austin hired me to take care of his books and stuff in the gun shop.
Yeah, I love being
And
there.
it was perfect for me because I worked like 3 hours in the morning, go to the bank and pay the bills and all this and that. And I had something to get up for. You know, you're young yet then, and you got to have something to keep you moving.
How long did you work at the place before that?
Before that,
Before you worked at Uncle Sam's?
let's see. Oh, at Morse Coupling. I don't know really. Wait, I can't remember the year I started, but like I say, I worked till I was 60. I think I was there quite a while, 16 years. Let's see.
Sounds like almost 20 years, right?
Yeah, around 20. I
Was it
think.
that long?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I got to work for Sam, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
And he keeps telling me he didn't know what he'd have done if I didn't come and do that. It made it nice. Something to get up for in the morning. You got to, you know, when you're young yet.
Right.
Like now, I don't know. Yeah. And then I worked for him, and I kept thinking, wonder when I'm going to retire, because I was up to 80. And thinking about it and thinking about it. And then all at once he decided to close the shop. So then I could retire. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I had a few years that I could travel. Yeah. Because I was driving till I was, till 7 years ago in May.
So you're 85.
Yeah. Right. So
Still
I was
driving.
85 and when, after I quit at Sam's, I had 5 years of doing what I wanted.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So you know, I'm thinking about it all now.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm always so thankful. I thank the good Lord all the time for the 5 boys. And a lot of people would say to me, you had all boys. How come you had all boys? I said, hey, I took what the good Lord gave me.
Right.
And I said, the girls came around. Was somebody out there?
No, it was just some stuff out in the hall.
The girls came around.
Yeah,
meaning
the
the
girls
that
came
were.
around.
Yeah, they came around eventually.
Yeah. So I don't know what it's like to raise a girl.
Right.
Good thing they were all boys. I'm sure it was easier than 5 girls. Yeah. It worked out okay.
All right. Well, cheers, Graham.
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
great. Wow.
Oh, I just appreciate you guys.
Love you.
Love you too. That was amazing, huh?
Yeah,
Then
boy,
you got
Clay.
rid of my